What's up, you cool cats and kittens?
Hey.
How's everyone doing?
Look, buddy. We don't know each other like that. You can't call me kid.
You're a whippersnapper.
Also,
Do you know
just
anything
like
about the Fielder? Well, I forget. You have a house now. That's right.
I do.
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I found
None of
these
you fuckers have been over.
All right.
Sorry,
Look,
I've
I'm
been busy.
Also,
Yeah.
Matt lives like
Listen,
at
anytime
least
you
a
come
state
to
away.
listen, Matt. Anytime you come to Texas, you are welcome to sleep on my Chase Lounge.
I'm just gonna show up outside like, yo, what's up?
No, go ahead.
He's there right now.
Yeah.
I'm
Knock
actually
on the door.
outside. I am
Uh-huh.
I am outside your door right now.
You can sleep in the coffee table.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I'm actually that deer sitting up on its two legs. That's me.
Right. The Wendigo in my backyard. God, there's a spot in my yard where the grass is like 4 fucking feet tall.
Come on, let your paw in. I'm tired. No, he's not. He's sitting on the couch right here. But no, the reason I initially brought it up, Bailey, was that I found these condos that are like full houses, and the rent's actually fairly cheap. You can get a 2-story, 2-bedroom for $14.40 a month.
Damn.
So I actually am very realistically considering moving over there.
Fun.
Yeah, well, the
Balls.
issue is I can't afford that, meaning I have to get a roommate. But
Right.
also everyone locally I hate. Save
Right.
for you and like maybe 2 other people.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, well, you've never had a weird sort of like, I don't agree with your lifestyle and I actually think it's a sin against God. So
Yeah.
that immediately puts
No.
you far and above a couple of people.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel that way, but you all were born in Texas, so I shouldn't judge.
I
You feel
see.
that it's-
Yes.
You feel that it's a sin against God, or you feel that we're cool?
Both.
To be Southerners is a sin against God.
Yeah. Below the
that's
Mason-Dixon is a sin.
hang on. Okay, I know we all got here to play D&D, but I need to read you guys this review for the condos I'm looking at. So they have a 3.0 on Google, but also like that's fair. Okay. This review is by someone whose name is They did this a month ago. This review says, first time moving into Texas, my son and I chose this abomination of a place to live, unfortunately. To start, if you are a child of the Most High God, in all caps, off top you will be gang stalked, I promise you that. Street theater at least once a week. They fill occupants with disabilities who do drugs all day and steal their neighbors' cars. How do I know? Because mine was stolen and the leasing manager, along with my neighbor who is on disability and do drugs all day, were a part of it. That was all one sentence, by the way. Everything is police documented, so all facts that I am writing. The people who own this place are wicked people, with 7 exclamation points. There are 2 thumbs up on this. Response from the owner. This post contains misinformation and false accusations and has been flagged for removal.
Yeah, that's rough, bud. That sounds like a boomer.
Yeah, well, she has 14 reviews, so she's actually from Tennessee, it looks like. And the issue is, like, none of these other ones are these weird, like, schizo posts. Oh, because these are all a year... Well, no, she just released... Yeah, she put one a month ago that is, like, actually normal. Yeah, I think that she just had a fucking schizophrenic, like, break or something.
Look it up.
See, I wouldn't mind having a roommate, except for I myself am a terrible fucking roommate. I straight up will leave dishes in the sink forever. And then my birds are loud as fuck.
No,
Yeah.
that's the depression, dude. You can't fault
I leave my hair in the shower. You know, that kind of thing.
So yeah, I'll admit I also do that, but the whole thing is I literally can't see it, so I have an excuse because I'm blind.
Yeah.
How do you know when an apartment is good when literally every single one you've looked at has complained about roaches in your price range?
That's a great question, Dusty.
How good you are with roaches?
I mean, I'll just like kill them.
Yeah.
So if they're not going to be a problem for you,
I mean, I'll cry if I see them, but also like I'll just kill them.
You'll cry as you're holding the fly swatter. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Same.
my family.
Same.
No, knife.
Oh, okay. Listen.
I'm making sure they stay out. Leave them. I'm gonna crucify one. Leave it up for the others to see.
I have an extremely gay coworker who says slay constantly. And so now I almost said slay when you were imagining you hitting a cockroach with a knife.
Yes, Queen. Slay.
Yeah. Yes. He says that stuff constantly.
Absolutely, sis. I had a friend of mine who he's from California and he's a California gay.
Uh-huh.
He said, "Ian, you do a really great job of someone who's homophobic would act. You do a great job of the impersonation someone who's homophobic would do of someone who's gay." And I said, "Thank you. I tried."
That's so beautiful.
I had an undergraduate when I explained to them that I am in fact gay or bisexual at least, and they went, "Oh, I didn't know that." And I went, "Oh, why's that?" And I went, you dress so," and I went, "Straight," and they went, "Yes." And I went, "Well,
be how it is sometimes, man.
I can't help
Big
it.
facts.
I thought I was straight for most of my life. That's the only way I know how to dress."
I've never seen you in person, and I didn't know you were at all gay until you said it. So
Yeah, it's called masking and hiding the fact that I that's a thing that's true.
Is that
about
with a C or a K?
the thing with me is, I don't give a shit because I've got a gay brother, a gay sister, a gay daughter.
Yeah.
Surrounded by it.
Yeah, my best friend's daughter transitioned to a man.
I think at this point, Darian's turning people gay.
Yeah, you're the common denominator.
No. It means that Darian has a gay aura.
Mm-hmm.
Agora?
But it also agora. No, but it also means Darian is a major ally.
Facts. We're just
We
quietly
need
super
those.
homophobic.
Yeah. It's the law of inverses.
Don't get it on me.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I'm okay with it as long as they keep it behind closed doors and they don't involve me.
Mm-hmm.
that's what I feel about Texans.
The way I think about things is do what you do. If it makes you happy, hey, I'm happy for you. It don't concern me. I'm good.
That's real.
Big facts.
I had a whole argument. I had a whole argument over Facebook with one of my good friends because when they were doing the whole gay marriage thing, you know, I posted something on it, and it was a picture of the civil rights movement and then the gay marriage movement underneath it, and it was just like, hey, some of y'all are gonna be looking real foolish in about 40 years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he got on there and he was like, oh, this is bullshit and it's blasphemy and I'm like, yo, first off, check what the post is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you're saying that about this particular post, you're also talking about the civil rights movement, which concerns me.
Yeah.
I can relate to what they are going through in this situation. It's like, yeah, I'm not gay. I am as straight can be. But it's like, if you're going to get on my page and sit here and start blasting about people's happiness and what it does to you in the church and all this other bullshit, it has nothing to do with you. Mind your business.
I just say, yo, dog, if it was such a big deal, Jesus never said anything himself in 4 fucking books where they're quoting his ass.
Also, they can, like, there's the whole argument of it's like, I mean, it's been translated over and over again, and the
actual
stuff
translation,
about
we're not going to get into it, but the translation that people ascribe to it is wrong. I'm not going to tell you what it actually is.
I was about to talk about it because it actually wasn't added until the 60s when, you guessed it, the gay panic started happening.
No, there's something that it's actually about, and I'm not going to get into it because it makes me feel yucky. It's something weird.
It was about, like, pedophilia, wasn't it? Because they were writing it
I
about
sure
the Greeks.
wish.
Oh.
I sure wish.
Because I was under the impression that when they wrote it, they saw what the Greeks were doing with their quote-unquote mentorship, and they went, that's real fucking weird. We don't want to deal with that.
There are two possibilities, Bailey.
Speaking of chalices,
anyways.
Speaking
of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
There is a character named Chalice.
Yes, there is. There is a character named Chalice. Current time is evening, day 37 of 1379. Last game, you guys all reconvened in Thunderscrim. You had a meeting presenting the idea of adopting the Forgeborn to the various lords and ladies of Thunderscrim, convincing them to trust you. Also confessing that Bastion understands the Maw language. Henry immediately brought you to King James, and he told you that he's been talking to extra-dimensional versions of himself that died before the Maw came to their dimensions. He also said that he gave King Henry the Ethereum Shard without King Henry's knowledge, but has asked you not to tell Henry yet. You then discover that all Forgeborn understand Maw speak, and the royal family had a tearful catch-up with the man who's been going crazy for 13 years and hasn't been able to communicate in 5. They've paused the meeting for now, and they're going to reconvene officially first thing tomorrow, though nobody has left yet. Currently, Nokia has volunteered themselves to be King James's translator for now, and Nokia may be on the fast track to being the first Forgeborn to ever be in the Secret Service. Yagami and Pale Jr. are talking to some other lord and lady-like people, and Wade is standing with them. Currently, Henry and Marceline are talking to some other important-looking people while they're giving August and Queen Christine time with James, while they're kind of on pause. So what are you guys doing?
I'm currently waiting for Roll20 to stop acting an ass.
Oh.
But, that's it for me.
I'm just kind of sitting back, watching all of this, enjoying a nice, happy family moment before inevitably this all falls apart.
Oh, yeah, totally.
As the kids say, 100p.
Yeah, Carolina's just lost.
I'm, watching my kids,
Proud father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoying watching them interact and speak like people.
Nice.
Not that they aren't people, but...
Right.
That other people are seeing that they're...
Yeah. And in trying...
Play jacks.
What?
But I will teach the kids how to play jacks.
Okay. In spades.
Because that's all we could do when we were poor and slaves and shit.
Yeah. And Henry would talk about, like, when he's trying to continue to pitch this to people, and then just mostly talking to Marceline, he's like, telling you guys, he doesn't think that finding homes for them will be hard, because they've actually had a huge, decline in population. It's, because they invented vasectomies, basically, because vasectomies started in, 1840, and Thunderscrim has 1860s technology, so a lot of people who don't have, they don't know what condoms are, they don't have compatible DNA, giants and orcs don't mix very well, and then, dwarves don't mix with anybody, it's hard to mix gnomes with stuff, and then, a giant carrying a human woman carrying a giant's baby is dangerous as fuck. And so they do have an orphanage here, but kids don't stay there for more than a week. And Rivermouth and Nygamesh send them orphans they don't have room for sometimes. And he's trying to convince people of there's population, overpopulation to worry about, but there's they don't eat, so whatever. And then there's the magic aspect to worry about, but they think they can eventually get over that. It's Henry's Thunderscrim's not nearly as segregated as it used to be, that they'd run into racism wherever they went, but if these robots, Forgeborn people, grow up in our society, they won't be an alien culture. He explains it of when Vecna rose, he destroyed a gigantic drow town, and so a lot of those drow refugees went to Thunderscrim, and he's so the people eventually got over it once the drow assimilated into their culture, because drow can inherently do magic. And so it's not your fault that you are magic, it's only your fault if you do magic, and so he thinks that there'll be, a few years that people will have to get over it, but if they're raised Thunderscrimian, then people will eventually treat them like Thunderscrimians. And Marceline has the idea of, like, what if we make it a patriotic thing? Like, we're heroes for fixing cosmic corruption. You fucked it, we fixed it. See, we told you magic was evil. And they're plotting how to put that into Eli Locke's, like, big Snowden reveal. You know, the headline's going to be Pelor stealing souls. Second page is Thunderscrim's adopting all the stolen souls. Page 3 is Eli Locke's decades of corruption he's documented. And Marceline starts, like, goes to the Attorney General or whatever and is like, do we have to get anyone to sign this? And their current idea is to just rule it as if a single mom died during childbirth, but, like, a bunch of them. So they're just gonna get born, get citizen cards, because they're, you know, not immigrants. What would the transplant region be? Fucking heaven. And they start, like, brainstorming what they're gonna need based on, you know, because, like, let's say a giant has to consume, you know, 6,000 calories a day, and so they're paid a certain amount so they can afford to buy food for themselves. And then, you know, your age of consent job is like an elf who's born here is not going to be able to legally work until they're, like, 90. So they need to figure out, like, have a maturity test of when they're going to be mentally adults, and that sort of a thing. And, yeah.
Man, they got a lot to deal with.
Yeah, and a lot of people are still doubtful, but, you know, Marceline, a 14-year-old, she's like, Olagith knows them, right? He'd never betray us. And Henry's like, he'd never knowingly betray us. But they have no one else who can check. It's the only other wizards we know who'd be able to understand this are Son Corellian, Golgarian, Lolth Priestess in the DOL, or Margaret Gorefield, great-great-granddaughter of Vecna. Is anyone else who could understand this enough to see if it's a trap could also be the ones making the trap, if it's a trap? And she's like, I mean, it's not like a Trojan horse. The Golgarians, like, they had to kill people to get it from them, so... And he's like, obligatory quote that good intentions pave the road to hell, but I agree. It's the only people I trust with something like this is us. Yeah, Marceline's like, I'm for it, I want to help them. Especially I want to rub it in that it's so fucked up this even happened. Mostly Henry's deferring to her of like, is that your final answer? She's like, yep. He's like, you're the boss. So... That's the deal for the current moment.
Makes sense. We're currently dealing with many people want to kill us. And are we dealing with anything currently right now? I feel like we're not. Like, no one's actively trying to murder us at the moment. Just if we ever enter their airspace.
Ildor Averett.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to talk to Eldor later.
He's not wanting us dead.
He's just unhappy.
He's
Is he not, though?
He's just tired of us fucking with time.
I mean, just according to him, he killed us several times, so...
Yeah, but that was because I was going to break something else in time that was much, much worse. Now I think we're not on the naughty list.
I don't take rejection well.
I do. I'm used to it. But, yeah, I think we're not on his naughty list right now. I mean,
you want to know whose naughty list you are on?
Multiple people.
God.
I mean,
several countries.
Lord Victor Gagarin, Marceline's father, Thunderscrim's trade commissioner, banisher of Vecna, who hasn't been here. He's been in Vixville. But he does, at this very moment, come back. It's, you guys would remember that Henry's worried that this guy's gonna kill him. He has an army of mercenaries who work just for him, not for Thunderscrim. He was... I don't remember what the actual phrase is, but when King Henry was very, very, very sick after they executed Henry's grandfather, he was, like, temporarily the king for a minute, and his whole deal is that he's just kind of a douche. Which I'm trying not to play up too much, because this is John's old player character, but for the sake of him being an antagonist to Henry right now, because, you know, plot, he's gonna be even more of an asshole than he was. So there. That was his thing, in my defense.
I kill him with
What?
I kill him with kindness.
Yeah. It's, Victor has a thick leather armor and a trench coat. It's fancy enough to be formal clothing, but gray camouflage at the same time. His dark hair is starting to turn silver. It's in a ponytail, well-trimmed beard. He lost his left eye in, some sort of altercation with an archfey, and he has a ruby the size of $50, and it's placed around his neck as a holy symbol of Ilmater, hands wrapped in red cord. His is fancy, mithril and ruby beads. On each hip he has magnificent pistols, and on his back a gigantic sniper rifle. At his waist a collection of hand grenades, and a small leather purse with the label Rocks, embroidered in red. The rest of Queen Marceline's family, Lady Marcy Yeagerin, who's the former Thieves Guild lieutenant in Golgari, not the leader, but one of the important people. That's how they met. And then Marceline's 5 sisters, who are all twins, and then her brother. Walk in a bit behind them. Marceline's twin is Fiona, 14, Augusta and Christine are 12, Persephone and Niobe are 11, and James is 9. They walk in and Marceline starts giving them the down low and everything, while Lord Yeagerin walks right in and takes in Nokia, translating for Queen Christine and August, before walking over to them and speaking with them in disbelief for a moment. King James hugs him, they're best bros after all, and he seems really apprehensive, like trying to put on a smile for King James, but then staring at the robot with, "I am 2 seconds from killing you if you flinch wrong." Doesn't say that, but that's the way he's standing. And then Victor is going to go up to Henry and pull him into a hallway, not in secret, but just pulling him out of eyesight from his parents and all of Yeagerin's kids. And Wade starts to go with him, but Victor shoots him a look, and Wade looks at Henry. Wade's nervous. Henry tells him that it's fine. So Wade stands exactly where he can see Henry through the door, but can pretend that he's not looking.
So don't you look at my Wade in that tone of voice?
Is Wade ever not nervous?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
He was a normal guy.
Am I close enough to him to have slipped my note of juicy gossip in Henry's pocket?
You would have had to done that earlier. You can make what kind of check would you make to be suspicious earlier? You know?
No, I mean, just if they're walking out in the hall.
Oh, okay, so right in that moment?
Yeah.
Make me a stealth check, or sleight of hand, I guess. I mean, you can also read lips, can't you?
Yes.
Oh, so it's not just an actual note.
No,
I was thinking that an actual thing.
No, the note of juicy gossip from the Half Moon, the House of the Satyr, that you leave it unattended for a minute and it'll maybe send you something juicy.
Okay. Well, what I will do instead, I will try to read the lips.
Okay.
Because my sleight of hand is less, so I'm gonna try to do.
Okay.
It's good, but my perception is better.
Make a stealth check for Lord Yeagerin. Does not trust you guys. Would have you shot if it was up to him. So try to stand inconspicuously, but still in eyeball earshot.
Okay. Stealth. First roll of the day, boys.
Big money, no whammies.
Come on, internet. 31.
God damn. Okay.
Damn.
Fuck, dude. Hang on.
Gosh,
All right.
darn.
Yeah, Lord Yeagerin's too angry to notice you. Are the other two of you doing anything? You could try to also listen. You could try to also stand inconspicuously.
I mean, it's Vic talking to James or Henry?
Henry.
I was going to kind of start to walk up. Just flagrantly walking up.
Right up to them?
About 10 feet away, and I'll pause.
Okay.
Just kind of stand there.
Bastion?
It's a little hard for me to be inconspicuous, considering that I weigh as much as 3 people put together.
Yeah. I mean, that's half the people in the kingdom also weigh 3 humans together.
That's true. I weigh as much as probably 1.5 giants.
There's like 4 giants in the council room right now. It's the guy who's in charge of the police is like 12 feet tall.
I will argue they're also not made of metal, though.
You don't know that.
You know what? You're so right. I actually don't know that.
Thanks, Bestie. I try.
You also have, 15-foot wings and an aura, and...
Yeah.
That's just kind of your opinion. Just vibing. Your honor.
But what are you doing, Bastion?
I think I will just keep an eye on things, honestly.
Okay.
Just make sure my companions don't get into trouble with their shenanigans. Because I don't think that stealth's really my forte so much as it is the other two.
I think stealth's my forte. That's hilarious.
That's true. I was trying to make you feel better, but you are also on fire. So.
Champion and Cool, are you just openly standing there? Are you trying to be out of their conversation? Are you making it open that you're open to being in their conversation?
It's half I'm open to being nearby and open to being part of this. Half I want to be very close in case Vic makes any sudden moves that I don't approve.
Okay. Make me a either persuasion or stealth check.
I'll do stealth because that actually is a positive, as opposed to everything.
I mean, your charisma should have gone up. I think it's like a 0 now, isn't it?
Yeah, but still, I'll take the 14.
A 14? All right.
Yep.
Okay. So, too angry he's aware you're in the room, and he's going to go ahead and yell at Henry first. Yeah, just openly pretty much yelling at Henry. You don't think this is a trick? They're saying whatever to get you to trust them. They're literally putting words in his mouth. They're champions of fucking gods who said they were going to kill you to keep you from Claudius. You aren't fucking worried? And it's Dad understands them too. They're not just making up stuff for him to say. They were doing espionage against a Vivianite. They're lying. They're not lying now. You didn't listen because Pale still followed Tyr, and that's why you said they were wrong. He sure as shit not anymore, and I'm not done talking about that either. I'm just gonna have a conversation with myself. You guys feel free to intervene at any time. They need our help. They're not gonna kill me. And the minute they don't need you anymore, it's the right thing to do, Vic. It's because they told you it was. I listened to you, and I also listened to Dad, and he's on board. Of course he is. They're making him think he can talk. What's it gonna be like when they're just getting close to your father so they can steal the fucking Ethereum shard and give it to fucking Merkul? If they had a plan to do that, they would have done it when it was just us alone in a room with him. They would have taken out the entire Thunderscrum government all at once in the cabinet meeting. And you let that happen in the first place. You let Marceline be in a fucking room with them at all. They could fucking kill her, Henry. What then? Do you have any way to stop them from killing anyone? If I ordered her around, you'd be the first one to stop me. We're equals, I don't tell her what to do. And it was a cabinet meeting in the castle. The only place that has more security in the world is your keep. Were they searched by any of them, by anyone, and you think for a second that they're gonna do what you tell them that anyone will? They have so far, and you know a lot about it from having just gotten here 2 seconds ago. And you think I haven't been listening the whole time? You've got some skinny motherfuckers in the walls. Even thinner than you. And Wade, who's panicked, he turns to Marceline and goes, your father is having an argument with your husband again. And Marceline's like, of course he is. And runs over and is like, Dad, can you chill for 2 seconds? And Vic continues to yell at now, both of them. Marceline, are you serious with this corrupted Ethereum matter? 1,000 of these tortured monsters, and we're gonna make them? We have no idea what the cosmic fucking consequences would be. Do you have any idea how apocalyptically fucked this is? We have no idea what conditions those beings are in. These 3 could be the only sane ones, or just fucking fake, programmed. And you want to unleash them on our people? Not only that, but the time stream, destiny, everyone who knows anything about this doesn't want to touch it with a mile-foot-long pole And you think that's a fucking good idea? And as he's gotten louder and Queen Marceline's run over there, several of the lords and ladies who are also kind of in earshot also look pretty apprehensive. And in this, you see the shadow of doubt cross Henry's face because he has to literally gulp down the dread and look into the eyes of people he's convinced are just waiting for the right moment to have him hanged. But in this, he looks down at Marceline and she nods sternly. And after taking a moment to cough and sucking in the dread, Henry pulls it together. What do you suppose that we do? Lock it in a vault. You want to start a massive project. We have no fucking idea what's going to happen tomorrow. We have a war to worry about. The cosmic fucking bastardization. We are correcting a mass bastardization, Victor. We're fixing it, and it's another reason to go to war. They don't have to eat. They don't have to sleep. They don't get hot or cold or sick. All they need is mentoring, education, and a home. We cannot afford not to do this. Damn us if we turn them away. If we don't help them. Because who fucking knows what would happen to them without us? Who will corrupt them and use them for evil and lie to them and make them slaves and soldiers and torch the world with them? They're children, Victor. They're fucking babies. And they're the ones that are supposed to be born next. And Thunderscrum doesn't believe in destiny. It's just God's convincing us things need to happen. They need to be born, and they need to be taken care of. Why is the chosen one always a kid? Because they're manipulatable. End of. And if they weren't already insane, they would be after we locked them in a vault for 1,000 years. And who knows gonna find them, or steal them, or what. They're not magical abominations. They are victims of magical abomination. They're fucking children, and by the stones I stand on, they're gonna be fucking Thunderscrimian. And the whole room fucking pauses for once, as Henry never stands up to Victor ever.
I do a thumbs up to Bastion.
I give a thumbs up back.
I'm just gonna kind of eclipse that distance and kind of put my hand on Vic's forearm and let him look
lean
at
in.
me.
You sure about that?
I throw a rock at Pale
I was like,
or something.
I'm just going to kind of walk closer. I'm not going to touch him. I was going to walk closer. Say, with all due respect, Lord Yagrin, I would let my God abandon me. Again, I would go into darkness, into nothing, before I ever thought of harming anyone in this kingdom, including yourself. And I know that that goes for all of my friends, and we will hold each other accountable that should any of us change our minds, that we would immediately remove that person. We owe our lives, period, to this kingdom. We owe every single breath we take, including Bastion's weird circuitry, to this kingdom. Everything we do is in service to this king. And if there's anything we can do to prove that to you, I, for one, can at least say I will do it.
You see him
Pale,
stare
do
at you. Oh, sorry.
Pale, do you have the sending stone?
If I was given one, then yeah. I forget.
I don't know if you have it.
He'd roll a dice,
Okay, sure.
evens he does, odds he doesn't.
That works for me. Roll 20. There. Nice. Go team. Is that a yes? I does have it.
No, you don't.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Victor turns to you, his one brown eye, it might as well be red along with his other one, as he's so fucking pissed. And he says, "You? Why are you not in handcuffs? Huh? That's my only fucking question." And
I'll step closer.
What's my crime?
being who you are.
Sounds
As
racist.
Who I worship, my race, or the acts that I've done. All the above.
Henry pauses to cough a lot. And Marceline, like, takes his arm, like, oh god, are you about to die right now? And Henry's like, he is here on my invitation. We can talk about this at length, Victor. And he's like, oh, we're going to. And Victor takes out a pair of anti-magic handcuffs and hands them to you, Pale, and says, put those on now. And Henry says, don't do that, Victor. Please.
I look at King Henry and I say, this is your call whether I put these on. This is your choice. If you command me to, if it will help win him over, I'll do it.
So, Victor rolled a 7 plus whatever on intimidation, and then Henry got a nat 20 on a wisdom save to not, yeah, it's... Henry only has courage when Marceline is staring at him, commanding him to have it. I don't know if we've made that clear, but that's the only time Henry can stand up to anyone is when Marceline makes him.
Power of a strong woman.
Yes.
So I'll walk in between Pale and Lord Jagrin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say this. I know you're nervous about everything, and I don't blame you, because you don't know us from anybody. But let's look at the alternatives here. If you lock all these souls up in a box, in a vault, there's a chance that they can be stolen and used for what they were originally purposed for, which nobody wants. Or they could figure out how to put them in their own bodies and still use them against you. Or you could do what King Henry is suggesting and place them into bodies and mold them into Thunder's Gremlins. Or you could just kill them. Your choice.
Henry tries to calm down again and tells Victor, now that he has you guys standing behind him too, Victor can't shoot me at this very moment. Maybe he can later. But he's like, I also worry that somehow something will take over them and turn them on us. But anyone with that magic strong enough to take them could also easily charm a normal person. We do it gradually and look them over for any child who's been fucking kidnapped or whatever and gone through trauma, and every method we are able to detect and make sure they're okay. Because August built all those mental hospitals for a reason, Victor. And I agree that we have no idea what the cosmic consequences will be on a broader scale, because this is so fucked up. But it's already been fucked up, and we can fix it doing this. But if we don't take them, someone else will, and much worse will happen if these born powerful children are taken in by someone who also resents us. If they grew up with no reason to harm us with love, then they will be the same as any other kid of Thunderscrim. And if you can't think of it from a moral perspective, think of it as a tactical one. And then...
I think by this point, Bastion's kind of walked over and kind of like just stood there, hearing someone be like, they're not real people.
Yeah. Everybody make me persuasion checks. Henry is also going to make one.
Well, here goes.
19.
Nice. It's the highest you've ever gotten on a persuasion check.
I put +5 because the reason it's so high is because I got to add my intelligence to it.
Yeah.
At the 10.
24.
Alright, so Pale, he still fucking hates your guts. But added together, and then here, let me roll for... yeah. It's added together, Victor finally caves. And he says, as long as we have security over every part of this, fine. And Henry nods, and he looks over to the room where everyone else is also like looking over here of like, the drama, the tea, popcorn. but also some of them still sharing Lord Yeagerin's opinion, and some of them turning for it, even in these few hours. But nobody speaks up to argue. And even though they're technically not in the meeting anymore, Henry looks again at Marceline, and she nods to him again, and he says, "If there's nothing else other than the common fear of the unknown, this will be done." And there's going to be, imagine a montage of, like, lords and ladies brainstorming over public works projects and, like, funding and shit. And the manufacturing lord's going to have a goddamn laundry list of what they need, who they need. Department of Labor's going to adjust schedules so they don't get behind on, war production, and then the normal sales shit they do. And, they're going to have a treasurer and minister of housing and education and shit. Yeah, and it'll take a few weeks for this to get momentum. In the next few days, they're going to have August, Garfield, and you, Bastion, have, like, classes on how to make them. Forgeborn kids talking about what it's like. They're going to have all of you come to...
We're having classes on how to make them?
Yeah, so Thunderscremians can help. Unless you don't want them to.
Bodies.
It's one of those things where this is... I think I would be okay with August knowing.
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms of this being a class thing, though, I don't know about that. I don't, because again, this is kind of, hey, here's how to steal someone's soul and put them in a body.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, if you bring it up that it's, like, OPSEC, they will concede with you of, it'll be secretly how to make them.
Yeah. They're aware that this is temporary, right?
To put them in... What do you mean?
Like us staying here.
Oh, no.
Oh. Well, we'll talk about it later. That's... Oops.
Yeah.
I thought... Okay.
No, they're thinking
just
that...
we get the fort.
No, they were thinking that, they were gonna, like, have them be adopted into Thunderscremian families. Which...
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that works.
Okay.
I guess.
I mean, you can definitely change it. You're the expert here. But that's what they thought that you meant was, these are going to be Thunderscrim citizens now.
Yeah,
It is up
Bastion's
to you,
ahead.
boss. And you can think about it if you like.
Yeah, I mean, I got it. Because the thing is it's like, this is... It's... Because I was under the assumption that they were like, okay, we'll begrudgingly let you, like, keep them here, not, oh, we'll integrate them.
No, they're planning on integrating them, but certainly some people will be happy about them just staying for a little bit. But either way,
That does make it a little more confusing.
yeah, you can take time to stew on it if you want. We can come back to it. But currently,
look a good-
this
I
second,
mean, yeah, I think that I think for the most part, I Bastion has kind of just stayed out of the politics of it. I mean, he's not a...
So far, he said the politics.
I mean, yeah, like, I was about to intervene if the charisma check wasn't convincing. I was like, look, man, this is a favor from me to you. But you be, like... Because, like, my issue is just, like, okay, by making them citizens of Thunderscrim, it gives them the chance at a normal life, yeah? But also, it means that I don't get to make sure that they're okay.
I mean, you could definitely walk the streets, and if you see a Forgeborn kid, be like, hey, are they treating you right? And if anything, you have 850,000 people who are, for the most part, also going to be making sure they're okay.
That's bro.
It is an extremely isolated, tight-knit community, and while it's very certain that not everyone gets along, there are certainly nice people here who aren't brainwashed by, patriotism, who will be much more chill about it.
We do enjoy a nice choke, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bastion's gonna take a sec to think about it, but I think at some point he's going to want to talk with King Henry about it. It's like, look, if it's too big of a deal, like, this isn't, you don't have to do this.
We can't have that conversation later, but he doesn't, it'll certainly be a lot of paperwork, and they're gonna have to figure out, like, you know, what stages do you wake them up then? Are we gonna get, like, he still has to talk to you about the implanting memories into them, because they could just, like, hire some more elementary school teachers and, you know, death by PowerPoint the kids until they know enough to get by. And then, of course, if they are going to be adopted by random Thunderscramians who are down with getting a robot kid, which out of 850,000, at least 1,000 people will be like, you know what? Sure. Just statistically. So...
What I'm thinking is I think that there's... How feasible would the implementation of a bureau be?
Like Bureau of Forgeborn?
A Forgeborn Bureau of, like, we organize this rather than the Thunderscramians do, but, like, it's in junction with the government.
At least for now, they're definitely going to have an office in charge of that. They're planning on having you be there for every step of this process because you're the expert. Yeah,
right.
You are definitely going to have a hand and input in this.
Because I think the process of making them because in my head, right? Ideally, it's this is a place for the my people to have a home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if not all of them are necessarily adopted. Like,
because some of them are going to wake up and be like, fuck you, I don't want parents.
Well, isn't like, because like I'm in my head how I pictured it was it's like there's a whole like sect of the city that's just like, oh, this is the Forgeborn section. Like
that will definitely, yeah, when they you know, like Chinatown or Little Italy in New York, there's probably going to be, like, there's already right now, there's a neighborhood that's mostly drow, and there's a neighborhood that's mostly gnomes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because basically, my concern is the long-term feasibility, because I can't be here all the time, and I want to make sure that if and when we need to leave, that it's not like, okay, well, everything falls apart now.
No. It's, yeah, Henry will be making sure that doesn't happen. And so will, like, the fucking... God, what's it called? Child Protective Services. Until they're adults, and then it's like... Yeah,
FPS, Forgeborn Protective Services?
Yes, yeah, that's probably gonna be an office. Yes. Because someone could kidnap one, rip it out, have a soul magazine, so it's... They will be taken care of as much as any other they're gonna make sure they're not gonna get kidnapped, even more so than a normal person.
Yeah, I will say I think the process of making them, I do think that's an OPSEC thing.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Because I mean, do you want to teach a bunch of random Thunderscramians how to make soul locks and bodies?
I mean,
what could go wrong?
I think the Forgeborn know how to make each other. I think
you could definitely teach them. It would be slower going, but they're gonna need like time to get this together anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because we have 3 and we have 20 bodies ready to go, meaning that we could technically have 20 people starting on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm down for the first 20 to be the settlers of the district.
Okay. Yeah.
By Forgeborn, for Forgeborn.
Oh my god. Yeah, but over the next couple of weeks, that'll definitely be put together. And yeah. And Henry's got to, like, you know, make a speech and like a press release or something. But it's going to be a lot of meetings. But yeah, it is getting put on, and they've got to write up some sort of memorandum or whatever and have King Henry and Queen Marceline sign it. That kind of thing. But the kids all give high fives as soon as they hear the news that it's confirmed and official.
Nice.
And Henry shakes people's hands. Like, 1 or 2 of them are excited, most are begrudging, some are still holding in their tongues or whatever, but no one is fighting him on this, so there's going to be some backdoor politics, so someone's probably going to still try and yell at him, but he could deal with it because Marceline told him to. But unless any of you have anything to say about that, in addition, Victor's going to turn back to you, Bill. He says, I'm going to watch you every single second that you're here. Keep that in mind. In fact, I'll be all three of you, but you especially.
I bow.
I'll just stare at him.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to stare at you, Pale, and then walk away. And he's guaranteed to go yell at Henry more later. No, you're doing a thing. It's okay. We can talk about this later. He will be paranoid about you the whole time. But then Henry goes and
I bow as he walks away.
No, you're good. Okay. But Henry's going to go sit down, probably in the hallway, and then throw up in a trash can.
Yep.
And it's mostly blood in there. And Wade's gonna make him, like, sit down on a windowsill. And Marceline's like, are you okay? And he's like, I'm never okay, but listen. She's like, you didn't even apologize to anyone this time. You've never done that before. I'm so proud of you. And he's like, celebrate later. He could be right. And they're like, oh, Henry, calm down. And he's, like, just swearing as he coughs and into a handkerchief and stuff.
Good. Hey, thanks for not having me put on the cuffs. I would have if you asked, but, thanks.
No, yeah, it's, just, he looks around and makes sure nobody but, Wade, Marceline, and you are watching, though he is certain that Victor has people in the walls, and, he's like, just wait until I tell him Stephen Pueyo's coming,
You want me to break that to him?
He's gonna shoot me. No, he'll shoot you, God.
Yeah, you think I haven't been shot before, Henry?
Okay, I mean, how about, like, 40 times?
Do you know how many times a specific champion told me he killed me? I've had specific champions tell me exactly how many times they've killed me. Because I forget.
You know we killed a god once, right?
Yeah. Good luck killing the god of the apocalypse. It's hard to end the end.
Yeah. And Marceline pokes him and goes, you can do it! And he's like, thank you, Em.
He's so supportive.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, we just ask that courier to take care of Vic.
The courier?
Don't worry about it. He doesn't kill them, but he can bring them places, I imagine.
I think we'd have to have a way to, like, have possession of him.
Well,
He can bring
That's
something to
doable.
him.
I'm sure there's a box or something that we could make to capture people.
at this
Well,
point, I
he could
think
bring
the courier
something.
could. We could deliver Tiamat to Vic at this point.
I don't know if... I mean, we'd have to first get Tiamat, and then have Tiamat in a form that's deliverable.
Yeah, like in a box. I'm sure they're really big boxes.
I mean, yeah, but she's a god.
They killed the god, remember?
Okay,
How
right.
hard can it be to get enough postage?
There's a difference between killing a god and capturing a god. It's really easy to destroy things. It's not so easy to not kill things.
Get that legendary Pokeball, bro.
The
So
Master
we just
Ball?
gotta get the Master Ball, yeah. Cue Pokemon theme music. Copyright strike.
Gotta capture all of them.
Da-da.
Da-da-da. It's me and you.
Joey
I know it's
Wheeler.
our fate.
Pokeball Pocket Monster.
I'm Chucky
Nope,
Pete.
still copywritten.
Shit.
The monster in my pocket.
Tiny, fearsome beast.
Is that a monster in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh, it's a monster.
Boo. that is a Wendigo in my pocket.
Why, yes, it's a Medusa. Thank you for noticing.
God, imagine catching a skinwalker in a Pokeball. Fucking horrifying.
Go,
It's out
Pikachu!
there.
Go!
ATF.
Wendigo!
682, I choose you.
Oh god.
Cut that out, Bailey, please. I want to stay employed.
The amount of sins Matt's committed on this show.
I would legitimately get disbarred.
Listen. Anyway, Henry starts to lay down on the floor, and he's like, I love being so pathetic that I'm about to die after having a single fucking argument.
You had an argument with a god killer, dude.
And he tries to smile at you, and there's blood all over his teeth.
Also, it won't be like that for long.
He gives you a look as Marceline's standing right there.
I imagine
find a cure
I don't know anything about your condition.
I'm just going to pray real hard, and someone's going to tell me a cure.
I'm sure the gods will work it out. And then I give the rough approximation of a smile.
That's probably horrifying.
Just the sound of grinding metal.
Queen Marceline makes an insight check and goes, what are you guys talking about?
Oh, a smile is when you have your cheeks raised, and grinding sounds as in, like, the metal rubbing against metal. This idiot.
Well, you see, given that my face is also a helmet, it's very difficult for me to make emotions. So I had to learn how to smile, but unfortunately, it's still quite unfortunate or it's still quite uncomfortable.
No, about Henry not being like this?
He'll get older, so he'll be taller.
Worried about the Godslayer?
The 4'7" girl crosses her arms. So I know you guys are fucking miracle workers. Do you know how to fix him? And he's like, don't. And she's like, shut up, you nerd.
And he does.
Let me make a...
And he does.
It's Henry tries to stand up, and Wade like pushes him back to the floor, and he's like, if you stand up right now, Henry, I swear to God, I will tie your ass up. And he's like, I'm not kinky, Wade. And he's like, stop fucking choking yourself. And
I am.
Carolina,
make a persuasion check.
Persuade them you're kinky.
12.
Out of 5, that's a 17. Because I think that's a funny check.
Yeah.
Wade, who's on his knees, he's been making sure Henry doesn't pass out. He looks up at you with wide fucking eyeballs.
He's on
and then
what?
His eyes stay wide as he looks back down at Henry.
It's true, I've watched her work some out before.
It's true, I watched with Cinnamon before.
Adventurers get 50 feet of rope at, like, just out of the ether or whatever, so...
Rope, movable rods, whatever you think.
I think this is a new word for Bastion.
What, kinky?
Yeah, and I think that what Bastion thinks it means is, how you've got, like, a kink in your neck?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. No, a kink in your like, hoses for your, coolant or whatever.
Or, yeah, like a kink in your armor.
A kink in the cogs.
Oh,
kink in the gears.
There's
make an insight check. Anybody who wants to know what Wade's thinking right now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Thinking about Carolina having sex, I bet.
I mean...
Filthy bastard.
Disgusting. All right, 19 plus 8. That's a 27.
Yeah. It's Wade has darker skin, so it's hard to tell, but you've never seen a man blush more in your life.
It's adorable.
And he's not making eye contact with anyone.
Hey guys,
anyway.
Wade's a virgin.
No.
This guy doesn't fuck!
The smile on Carolina's face is as big as her fucking wings. What?
But King Henry's gonna try and distract Marceline. He's like, now all we have to do is worry about fucking Pelor. I'm gonna see if he can distract her or not. Nope. Queen Marceline's like, what do you people know?
Whoa, what do you
Tell me
people?
now.
We know
Henry?
he's sick. And I give a thumbs up.
It's working. He's buying it.
Bashful turns his head and goes, I think it is.
Says, Henry, how much time did they tell you? And Henry looks extremely, extremely glum, and he says, 1.5 years. And she says, yeah. And who has to watch you die in that 1.5 years? You do. How long's the war gonna take? Less than 9 months. And so I'm gonna see you for how much of the rest of your life, according to your doctor? 4 months. So you're gonna do whatever the hell I tell you, right? Yes, ma'am. What the fuck are they talking about? And he looks really, really, really anxious. But under the stare of a 14-year-old, he looks at you, Bastion, as though he's in pain. But you can tell that he's giving you permission to tell her.
I can tell her about the thing?
He nods, and she's like, "You keeping secrets from me? I swear to fucking God!" Like she acts like she's pretending she's gonna slap him.
I was asked to keep a secret.
No, not you, him.
Oh.
Damn it.
Well, the gist of it is I fixed him.
Huh?
I fixed King Henry.
Your husband?
Not magically. Yeah, that guy right there. The
Fixed?
sick guy. Currently, yeah. Fully cured.
I give her a high five as her hand is up to slap him.
Can I also raise my hand up for a high five from Carolina?
I give
Yes.
it a
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Just
No,
watching as if I'm too mature to do that. I'm just like, I'm sorry about that.
Can I offer a
So
down low to
childish.
Dale? Like a
I go
subtle
for it.
down low.
I absolutely go for it.
It's very blatant what happened because it's metal gauntlet on metal.
Yeah.
Ding.
Crunch.
Yeah.
Why does it sound
Yeah.
wet?
Oh, sorry, I sweat when I get nervous.
Oh God, I'm sending a wet robot.
It's just cooling.
Wink.
But yeah, I fixed him.
She's trying not to be rude, but she goes, "He doesn't look very fixed."
Oh, that's because they wanted to wait till after the council because they don't want there to be like political motivation of letting my kids stay here.
She looks down at
Yeah.
Henry, less angry at him. Okay, that's fine. Now tell me about it. The meeting's over.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna replace most of his damaged parts of his body with mechanical parts. It's all non-magical. But yeah, he'll be fully fixed.
He stares at him, and he's like, "It's a surgery that's never been done before, and they have to cut out my lungs and heart, and that's almost certainly gonna kill me, and I don't know how it wasn't, but he says it works, and August says it works, and Garfield says it works."
If we remove only those parts of your body, that technically doesn't classify as death. Death is, well, in a strictly medical sense, would be the death of the brain, which technically, as long as we keep fresh blood flowing through there, you'd be alright. So you can technically, I mean, the body's just a big machine, basically. You can replace parts of it all the time. So really all we're doing is we're just replacing some engine parts with a different and better engine parts.
Bastion, you're scaring the fleshies.
I'm trying to relate to them the same way that I can.
And Pale, like,
It's
Pale,
terrifying.
that's honestly the first thing he's ever said that I actually understood.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever lost an eye or something, I could just make you another one.
I would prefer I just use magic and heal it.
I still
But
don't
think about all the
understand
extra think about the limitations.
No.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, he'll be completely cured, permanently fixed. I've actually here. This is his heart right here.
You pull it out. But she might want to hold it.
Yeah, sure. I'll let her hold it.
She starts to tear up and hands it back to you, and Henry has the. Yeah. He's like, "I don't have any certain amount of time." And while he says it works, intentionally risking cutting it short in a matter of an hour. But she's like, "But it could, baby." Or maybe, and not baby. That was a misprint on my part.
Freudian slip.
Hey, you
Yeah.
little baby, you little weakling.
You little wimp.
Wait, baby.
He's like, if we have...
Yeah.
I haven't had everyone look at it yet, other than, like, August, but... Because he apparently helped them make it, but... I mean, I do fucking want to live. I love being alive.
We love you
But if-
being alive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just make a whole replacement lung and hearts and circulatory system for just anyone. Although I will say it was quite a fun problem to take on. Not as difficult as I was imagining, though.
I thought that makes it better or creepier. It was easy for him.
I mean, again, like I said, the body's basically just a real weird machine.
Yeah, a lot wetter.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, you know, my internals are probably just as lubricated as everyone else's. I mean, your bones are constantly wet.
Mine aren't.
I was gonna say, no, I think that's not true. I've seen your bones.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We for sure at some point have been injured enough that our bones, well, at least y'all's bones, have been visible.
I
Yeah.
found
Made
it twice
like
in the
3
Jurassic
times during the Jurassic fight.
Yeah.
fight. Y'all have seen exposed bits of me that you want to unsee. I guarantee it. Also my insides.
We've seen your insides become outsides on at least a couple of occasions.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
honestly, Pale goes down the most.
Yep. Also in fights.
Oh,
Hey,
Gabagool.
another down low.
Think.
but he's like, honestly, Marceline, if I die before the war, that means you're gonna have to fucking deal with it. But I could die tomorrow from just fucking sneezing. I believe them when they say it works because I don't think they'd make that up. And they know that, you know, he doesn't want to say this to your face, but he's like, they need us to do stuff for them. And we need them to do stuff for us. So I think that he thinks that it works and he's the champion of God. And August says that it works and he's, you know, August. So if we can find a doctor that, like, is at least semi, you know, sure they can do it and wants to do it, I'm gonna leave that up to you. Because Henry's essentially saying, if I die, everything becomes your problem. So I'm gonna leave it up to you. And she says, I can't ask you to do that, but I want you to live.
If
And he
it's
just-
any go ahead.
He just nods and says, okay.
If it's any consolation, if I wanted you dead, there were much easier ways of doing this.
Much easier.
Yeah,
No,
we could have.
I-
Like, it wouldn't be very hard.
I think on purpose you wouldn't, but
Mhm.
it's just that it could be on accident of, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that this works. It's just the surgeon at this point.
Yeah.
Let's remember, it's Bastion doing this, not me. Like,
I was
Yeah, there's
literally
an element
made
of
to make
trust.
things.
yeah. If it was
This
me,
is like
then
telling
yeah,
your
you should,
shoemaker that his shoes are bad.
you should never do that to a
And we
shoemaker.
literally have the best surgeons in the world, Henry, and, you know, we can stock up like 50 fucking healing potions, and he starts nodding along. Yeah, a lot of people
Idiot.
you've met are religious, so they're not afraid to die. Or they're very depressed, so they're not afraid to die. Henry is neither of those. He is depressed,
I was about to
but
say,
he
he's
loves
not
being
depressed.
alive. He is certainly depressed, but he doesn't want to die. He says being suicidal was Dad's thing, but he's like, no. Henry's actually scared to die. I will say that much.
Oh, good for him.
Well, if it's any consolation, at the moment of your death, we could just take your soul and put you in another Forgeborn.
And,
we can make you a
and
robot.
Marceline almost tears up again. She goes, I didn't want to ask, but is that actually a backup plan?
Yeah, we've done it before. Well, in theory, we've done it before. But I looked at
Backup.
the
I thought
other
we were just going
two.
to do that for giggles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we would never intentionally steal a soul for our own gain, of course. But, you know, I mean, we know how to do it now.
He's like, you know, I know that's fucking she's telling Henry, I know that's fucking terrible, but like, I don't want to do anything without you. He's like, hopefully the surgery works. Everyone says it would, but I'll just, if I don't want to be in a robot, but I also don't want to fucking leave you fucking hanging. You're the only reason I'm still here, so. And she's like, shut up, stop being depressed, god damn it. And he's like, they're not gonna be cool with a robot king. And she's like, oh, fuck them, I'll run away with my robot husband. And he stifles a worried laugh.
I mean, as someone who's been a robot, or I guess an automaton their entire life, it's a pretty sweet deal, actually. Also, again, like, we're the Forgeborn, you'd have a home.
And
I'd be
in
more
case
than
that
happy to
did
welcome you to
happen-
my family.
In case that did happen, would you want the same body type?
Yeah, we can customize it.
Henry laughs and just says, make me not as skinny and taller.
Okay, so you're gonna be like Nokia.
Yeah,
No.
I think he
give you
wants to look
multiple-
kind of like.
Well,
I think he wants to be like more of a giant.
Marceline goes on of, I can't ask you to do something that could potentially kill you. However, I do want you to try to live. And so Henry's like, I don't want to be a robot, but I don't want to be fucking dying either. But if you're, Marceline, if you're okay with me doing this, then I would do that for you. And she's like, I feel selfish you doing that for me, but please live. And we'll deal with, you being a robot later if that's what happens. Yeah. But as he slowly gets to where he's not about to pass out anymore, he sits up and she gets on her knees and hugs him, very forcefully shoving his head into her, chest plate, and he actually lets her hug him for once.
Oh.
Look at them. What cuties. Little dwarves.
Such a beautiful.
Little murder children.
Yeah. But, with all those scenes over, what do you guys do?
Well, I think
Yeah.
the issue would be is that if we made him like Nokia, that there might be an issue with the brain trying to work around having multiple legs. Nokia's soul was completely fresh and hadn't lived with only having 2 legs, so that's why I think that worked.
Nokia has 2 legs.
You don't know your own fucking kids? It's Pale Jr.
Fuck!
Ooh.
I'm just... Okay, look, in my defense...
Figured
In
it
my
out.
defense... Nokia sounds... When I think of Nokia, I think of Orisa from Overwatch, and that makes me think of fucking, the Centaur kid.
I thought you were
the
thinking
Middle
of-
Eastern spread?
I thought you were thinking of the Nokia phone from Transformers.
Hey, that was
There's a
low road.
Nokia
That wasn't
phone
it.
in Transformers?
Yeah, when they were doing the testing on the Transformer technology, and they hit a Nokia phone with it, and it turned into a 6-legged monster in the cage.
TBT. Little throwback there.
Oh my
Shay.
god. Oh my god, it does.
Talk about weird product placement.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, you know our phone that we're trying to sell to people? Turn it into a little murder monster.
I mean, it certainly beefs up the fact that Nokias are indestructible.
Yes.
True. As the kids say, big facts. Skibbity.
Not Cap.
Oh, Rizzle.
Hated
Is
it.
shoes the opposite of cap?
What?
Boo.
Like, instead of cap, like the cap on your head, that means lies. Are you calling shoes means you calling truth?
This is like... It's like trying to have a conversation with my... No.
I go hug Nokia and say nothing.
They're
Wow,
still
look at
translating for King James, but they hug you and almost crush your fucking ribs. But it's
Yeah,
Nokia.
I hug Nokia and stare right at Bastion. How dare they?
No way, this is canonical. Look, I told you, I'm
Oh, for fucking up the legs.
I'm stupid. Bastion's not.
I'm stupid, says person with 180 IQ.
I don't have 180 IQ. It's only 160, and that doesn't.
Oh my god.
Pretty sure mine
IQ doesn't equate to intelligence. That's a factor proposed by bigots. IQ is just how good are you on standardized tests.
It's an
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
intelligent
mine's
quotient
90.
with logarithmic and logic-based intelligence.
Okay, yeah,
Pretty
that doesn't
sure-
equate. That doesn't equate to actual intelligence.
No, it
I'm pretty
equates
sure
to
mine's
ability to
98.
learn.
Yours is 98. Same. Mine's
Yeah.
like 85, brother.
I actually
Rub it
don't
in,
know
you
what
guys
my
have double
IQ is.
digits.
I realistically think I probably do, but I also have no fucking clue. So
Mine's at least double
It's,
digits.
oh, I'm dumb, says the bard lawyer and the guy who's getting like a master's degree in fucking brain science or whatever.
PhD, but that's besides.
Hey,
the
Oh,
point.
I'm a
okay.
lawyer. I never said I was bard.
You're working on the
Meanwhile-
PhD. You haven't got it yet.
Meanwhile,
true.
I'm a crayon eater and a
Yeah.
truck driver.
Listen,
Look, man.
Yeah, no college debt. Smartest one here.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't have college debt either.
Rub it in, college boy.
it's I huff formaldehyde all day, every day.
What about your job?
Don't worry about what my brain's doing.
I eat ramen noodles all the time.
Yeah,
I have subsisted on pizza for the past 4 days.
I'm
Yeah,
a
I think you guys are
smoker,
all winning.
ex-alcoholic. I've been on every psychiatric drug there is.
Even the fun ones?
No.
Psilocybin.
I have a question. Okay,
Yeah.
so when I first came back from the hospital, was I fucking weird? Because I don't remember months of when I first came back.
I don't know if this is a
And-
question I can answer because I don't think I knew you then.
Yeah, you weren't there yet, but
When was that?
I don't remember it being weird.
yeah, man. Because like there's two what I'm gonna call lost tapes of. I was thinking about this the first time you guys met Victor. Of it was just so bad. Not only was I like not even fucking there, it was like raining really hard, which is also why. And so I try to edit those episodes and I cringe so hard that it actually is like physically painful. So I'd like to apologize for episode 22 and 23. They would have been out 2 years ago, almost 3.
Listeners, you hear that?
Yeah. It's
When you came back, I was dealing with you on a different level,
yeah.
and I still don't remember everything.
Okay. Yeah. Just going back to it before, like, so Ian, you met me on the cusp of me being normal again. So before Ian joined the game, I can't listen to episodes previous, like 38 and down. If I listen to them, I just cringe.
Well, I mean,
And I cringe at the new ones, but
I don't know if I met you when you were on the cusp of being normal because you were recovering from sepsis.
yeah, and shingles, and I'm
Yeah.
like mentally normal, okay?
Oh, fair enough. 'Cause I remember I was like, oh, there's a weekly D&D, who runs it? They gave me your contact. Turns out wrong contact because you lost that account. So
Yes.
I contacted you on a different account, and you said, or no, I was like, oh, when is she gonna be back in? They said, oh, we don't know. She's got shingles right now.
Yeah. Poisoned herself, had shingles. I'm known around work as the one who poisons themselves, because I keep accidentally fucking eating peanuts. I keep forgetting that I'm allergic to them, because only in like the last, I've told you guys this, right? Only the last like 6 months I've become allergic to peanuts, and I keep forgetting and eating them.
I think you're officially turning into a vampire. You're allergic to peanuts and you're allergic to the sun now?
Yes.
You're allergic to the sun?
Yes.
That's why I
if
call
I'm-
her Sun Nick.
Yeah, I am allergic to the sun. When we went on camping trips for the army, I say camping trips, I would have to wear like a full like balaclava, like scarf over my face and like gloves, because otherwise I would literally get sun poisoning and my like body would swell up. Like I got my hands we wore long sleeves in the summer. So my hands like one summer swelled up to the point I couldn't bend my wrists because I was sunburnt all the way down to like my muscle.
Jesus.
And if I've gotten a sunburn sitting in the car before to the point where it outlined my necklace. Every time I do yard work, I get a sunburn. Yeah. If I go to the beach, I'll die. But
I hope you heal.
thank you, man.
Replace your lungs.
Replace my legs. Yeah, replace my skin.
We'll do our best.
Cover me in silicone.
The moment I learned the
Weakness of your flesh. Yep.
I was disgusted. I craved the certainty and strength of steel.
Until you feel.
No,
you're about to
I
fail
hope you
to
know,
steel.
like 50 years from now, Thunderscramians, if they lose a limb, they're gonna have a metal one. It's, I'll let you know, I'll let you go ahead and know that this is gonna take off.
Forge.
Yeah, if somebody's like a millionaire, they have a mithril leg.
I think an adamantine then would be good. Mithril would just mean that it's... Oh, well, no, adamantine would make it heavier, but also it's literally indestructible. Mithril
You'd
would...
have people who are, working in the mines, they get hammers, like, attached to their metal, arms. It's...
Yeah, you swap them out for the attachments.
As long as it's non-magic, it's gonna go nuts.
Well, luckily I'm technically entirely non-magic, so...
Yes. And even then, some Thunderscramians are cool with it, but they're just like, it's no one agrees with the, not everyone everywhere agrees with what the government says, so. There's some people who don't give a fuck, but. But what do you guys do in these last few minutes of, So you're free to go to your bedrooms, you're free to go to the paperclip labs, you could do fucking anything. It is evening though. They're probably gonna have a family dinner for once, and then Henry will probably, maybe tell his family that there's possibly something to fix him, now that Marceline knows. But maybe not, because he doesn't want to stress his parents out.
He doesn't want to tell his parents that he might die and become a robot.
I mean, he'll tell them, like, before it happens, but just not today. There's been enough today.
Fair enough.
I mean,
he might,
true,
first thing in the morning, he might have, like, you go he might have, like, some doctors from their hospital be like, hey, can you go talk to this guy, Bastion, and see if you can, because Thunderscram is the first place to invent, like the first, fake knee happened in, like, 1880 or something. I don't remember what year it was, but it was much earlier than you might think it was. Like, the first X-ray was in, like, 1890.
Yeah.
And, it didn't go well, but it did happen.
It might have killed someone, but
like, the first, like, teeth implants were also in the 1800s. So
orthodontics.
Yeah, so this technology does exist in Thunderscram, but it is new, so they're going to practice on a cow first or something.
Makes sense. It's a rude thing to call the queen, but hey.
No. And then another thing is, because Henry's part giant, part orc, but mostly human, the only person on Earth that he shares a blood type with is his dad. So they're going to, and Henry's like, I feel like a fucking vampire using my dad as a fucking blood bag because I fucking actually need it so often. Because I'm constantly bleeding to death slowly. And so they're gonna have to, get a blood transfusion from Henry's dad. Which they do pretty often, but
also,
they have one in a fridge somewhere.
All right, guys.
Yeah, no worries. It is 8:50, it is okay.
I just realized that Carolina is a ranger with a -1 nature.
Yikes, brother. Listen, you're a city ranger.
Yeah. Not a park ranger, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the Central Park Ranger.
I have no religion. I don't know nature. And I didn't study history in school.
Nope.
or
You
our
went to
time.
public school.
Yeah, I know nothing about magic whatsoever.
It's the school Donald Denham built in your town. It was the first school there, like ever, public. Wasn't that good though? He tried. They did the best they could.
We had a lot of school shootings.
I don't. Maybe with a crossbow.
Yeah.
It's probably a one-room school.
Oh,
But yeah.
man.
Is there anything else you guys want to do or say to people in these last 2 minutes, or do we just bullshit IRL?
No, I mean, I think we'd be good to call it here.
Okay.
Yo.
Hey, it's your GM, Bailey Ford. I would like to thank our regular players, Darian, Matt, and Ian, Hip for our cover art, and Tabletop Audio for our background music. You can find us on Twitter at Illithids, and thank you especially for listening.